cider and a switch thing. Ride the dawn on his motorbike. Looking for legends on the Sunset Strip with a stone cold paranormal partnership. That's what time Rick tried to sell me some crack. Listen to the podcast, man, I take that shit back. It's Urban Legends, the podcast about urban legends. And here your host, Neil and Chris. You'll receive our pod in your ears tonight. Whether in a canoe, a rowing boat, a kayak, an inflatable tire, or a raft, all currents inevitably lead to Urban Legends, the podcast about urban legends. I am your host, Chris Flynn, and with me, as always, is Mr.
Neil Herbert.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, I think that's a very apt analogy, Chris. We're very much like a sort of black hole where you're on the event horizon getting sucked in.
Like a whirlpool of
whether you
nonsense.
like it or not. Sorry, you've already crossed the event horizon.
Yeah, I started off just doing like a posh voice, but I ended up doing very much a Winston Churchill.
Okay, I thought a little bit Terry Thomas as well. Slightly fruity, yeah.
Terry Thomas, I can do that, no problem. Who's that delightful creature?
Rascal.
He's brilliant, Terry Thomas, if people haven't seen him. He's like an English cad's upper sort of con man cad's character with a gap in his teeth and a tash. And he talks like this, hello. And he's always trying to get off of people's birds.
Yeah, even though he looks like a colonel from about 50 years before he was born.
Yeah, but come on, man. Like, we've seen pictures of people in the past. I mean, men were a mess.
Terry Thomas a fuck.
Of course you went. Neil, so I'm liking your new style. You've got your frosted tips in finally. Yeah, that's good. That's your September look.
The 90s.
Yeah, and you've got your very stylish new T-shirt with "I love Pachenko" written across the front.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Who doesn't?
Oh, who doesn't? Yeah. Is that because you do like Pachenko, or is it just like kind of cool and stylish Japanese? You know, like that.
I'm just following the trend, to be honest with you, Chris. It's a bit like those people who have like a gold leaf Ramones T-shirt or something.
Never heard of it.
They don't even know they're a punk band. It's just it's some Japanese parlor game or something, isn't it?
Did you buy it at Topshop?
Yeah.
Does Topshop exist anymore?
I presume it does, yeah. I don't know. I've not been on the high street for a while.
H&M.
Yeah, I buy my clothes on bulk online.
I might get my clothes from the council.
Yeah, just root around the sort of those bins that they have where you can put spare clothes and things.
I have been thinking about... So basically, if I could, I would get rid of all my clothes and buy all new clothes, right? Because I feel like my wardrobe is
these are upgrades, you reckon?
Yeah, it's in better days. Like I'll occasionally buy a T-shirt or something, but I kind of feel like it all needs to go. Like get rid of it all, start fresh. I'm
just waiting until there's holes in it.
Well,
I'm getting increasingly inappropriate.
There is quite a lot of holes in it. A lot of my T-shirt are of the style of peephole T-shirts. Good for when I'm suckling apes, but not so good for a job interview. So I wouldn't mind doing that. But it's a lot of money in it, and also I kind of always thinking. So the thing, like, I'm clearly not a fast fashion person, right? I've got
the idea of just buying something and throwing it away after one or two
buying
wears,
something cheap from like Primani or whatever, Primark. But I still can't. But I find it quite difficult to buy clothes because fundamentally, the clothing industry is monstrous. Like how clothes are made in third world countries and stuff, and it's kind of like. I mean, like this does have holes in it, and I do look like I'm a vagrant. But on the other hand, I'm not funding slave work in Bangladesh. So. But I don't know. We do need clothes, though, don't we, Neil? I think that has been agreed by society.
It's been said before. It's we probably too addicted to cheap things that we're not we want a lifestyle to maintain a lifestyle that we're not really prepared to pay for in the West. This has gotten too deep for me, Chris.
How much do you think it costs to do a full refresh of a wardrobe? So jeans are what, like 30? Well, I mean, I know that they're more, but jeans that I would happily buy, like 30, 40 quid a pair.
Yeah, well, you get them in sales as well and stuff like that. So I reckon
T-shirts,
300 quid at least.
What, for a full refresh?
Well, okay. Well, how many are we talking about? Well, like 3 pair of jeans, 2 weeks worth of underpants, T-shirts.
Yeah, jumpers. That's jumpers. I'm okay. I've got some new jumpers.
All right, 500.
But you want nice. It's nice to have something to go out.
Oh, so you don't want something just functional. So you want.
No, not talking. I'm not like a member of the CCP. I don't.
Yeah.
Just a functional flannel.
All right, a full like for the
upgrade.
Probably looking at £1,000, aren't you? I suppose.
Yes, a lot in it. It's a lot of money. Yeah. I don't have £1,000. Do you have £1,000? What?
Might do.
Yeah, can I have £1,000?
Savings? No, you can't.
Why can't I have £1,000?
Waste it on clothes, aren't you?
Well, wasted it on clothes. No, don't be like that. Like how I look is a reflection on the podcast.
Until you can take your t-shirts apart like Hulk Hogan.
I literally can do that because they're so threadbare. This one which I'm wearing here, I literally did Hulk Hogan the other one.
Nice.
Just to see if I could, and I could.
Actually, use that as a cloth.
Huh?
You can they'll now use that t-shirt as a cloth for cleaning and stuff.
I've put a couple of stitches in. That's currently what I'm wearing for underwear.
Ah, fair enough. I was wondering what that big man nappy was.
Yep. Well, that's it. So, that I've been back on the dating scene, Neil. We haven't talked about this.
Indeed, yeah.
But I did some dating and stuff. Didn't work out, but mutually agreed. And, we remain friends to this day.
That's good.
So I've signed up to this thing, right? So I saw it, and it's like meant to be a big social experiment thing. I think it's about 20 quid to sign up, so whatever. But it's called like Pairing. Don't worry, we're not sponsored by them. They absolutely would not want me associated with their brand.
No.
But what it is you get like a ring, like a green ring, and people wear it, and it shows that yes, you're like that. I'm out to date and that kind of stuff, and I'm single. And
so, all right, let's see if we're compatible.
Yeah. So basically, because I think the thing is, like at the moment, like it's fractious to. You wouldn't really approach someone and say, "Oh, hi," and start talking to them, would you? Because it's unwanted attention. It can be, or it's toxic behaviour or whatever. But if 2 people are wearing this ring, then it's kind of like, okay, well, you can start a conversation and say, I'm not interested, but you're giving yourself cover from the police essentially.
Okay, yeah, it's good to have these things signed off in advance.
But they're also going to be like doing events in different towns and that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd sign up for it. So I'm waiting for my ring to arrive, and yeah, I'll let you know how I get on. Like, I think there's like millions of people signed up for it. So, and app-based dating's pretty horrible. Really,
it's quite a horrible just thing. Like emeralds, you're on a.
You put that ring on after death. But no, I'll let you know how I get on if you're interested.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, good luck with that, Chris.
Oh, thanks very much. Say like you mean it. No, but I thought,
that's about as much enthusiasm as I can muster about anything these days. I'm very
the thing is as well, right, for me, because I stop the booze and stuff, it's not like I spend a lot of time in pubs and that kind of thing. And I know that's not a great idea to meet, that's not the best place to meet people, but you do meet people there.
Yeah, yeah.
I work from home. So it's not, and normally people meet a partner at work or whatever.
Yeah.
So basically, unless I'm meeting someone around my flat, which is unlikely, unless it's that Jamiroquai guy who came round the last series or whatever.
Well, he seems like a bit of a catch. I don't think.
Yeah, well, you know,
Beggars can't be choosers, Chris.
I've got an eyes are bigger than my stomach now.
Fair enough. Well,
so I thought, you know, because I mean, where do I go in the evenings? Like, I can't go to pubs and stuff, so I just hang around those late night Muslim hairdressers and stuff. Yeah. Just get like my hair, you know, tightened every evening and smoke a shisha. But again, not many women there.
No, that's true. It's a bit of a male environment, really.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice, but you know, it's a bit of a sausage fest. But yeah,
this is true.
But we're so yeah. I think maybe I'm thinking about this because sort of trying to be outside a bit more and stuff now, and like go out and do stuff in the evenings. Like, we're both going to an event next weekend, aren't we? A friend's band's 20th anniversary. I thought it'd be longer looking at them, but no, 20 years. And then I was thinking, you know, like again, like back to the clothes thing. I was thinking, well, what do I wear that's like a nice going out thing? And it's like, well, I've got some okay t-shirts, but that's about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't got like a nice shirt or anything.
No, okay, yeah. I see where you're coming from. I hadn't really thought about being particularly dressing up. I think it'd just be a bunch
I'll
of
just wear a nice
friends.
t-shirt, not a problem. Yeah. But it's kind of like, again, you're kind of going, well, what here can I wear? Would I dress to impress?
Yeah.
And it's like, and there's like 2 t-shirts that are kind of like a bit going outy, but that's about it. So I don't know. Like, maybe I'm moving on with my life now. Maybe I'm.
Sounds like you might be. Yeah.
That's nice, isn't it? I'm sure the listeners are glad to hear it.
I'm sure they're rooting for you, Chris, as are we all.
So Neil,
that sounds sincere.
It did sound sincere. Thank you. So Neil, I've been doing some cash in hand work for some people recently. Best kind of work. Wink, wink. Some of them are celebrities. Some of them involve celebrities.
Maybe I pay tax. Maybe I don't. See how I feel.
Not sure. Eh?
Maybe I forget about that work that I did.
Money makes the world go round. Mm-hmm. I'm just keeping the economy moving. So I cleaned out Ted Danson's sheds the other day.
Oh, I bet that was a right old state.
It was, yeah. He had loads of really old tools, glass clippings, and a solid bag of cement.
I thought it's that construction project he kept meaning to get around to and never actually got into.
Yeah, he was going to build a pond, but yeah, never got around to it. He got the job on The Good Place and then didn't have time. He wasn't expecting that. He thought he'd have a bit of
he thought he had a bit of downtime as sort of relaunched his career, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, and so. I mean, he was really annoyed about the cement. Like, the one thing which I say about Ted Danson is he is penny wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's, just because he's got those Cheers residuals, you don't waste them.
Yeah, and 3 men and a little lady.
Yeah, 3 men and a little lady, and a three men and a baby residual. And
he was
that as well, I suspect.
He was in some Larry David stuff, wasn't
he? I can't remember.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. He was a recurring character in that, I think. Yeah. I've not really watched Curb Your Enthusiasm.
No, likewise.
I
hear it's brilliant, but
people say it's brilliant. I've basically, kind of awkward comedy.
Yeah.
I find I don't enjoy watching that, and that's kind of the entirety of what it is.
Yeah.
So not really for me. You would think there might be more kind of like Hollywood stuff, but no, it's just a normal shed. He lives in Orpington.
Yeah.
Yeah, just outside
He's a very
London.
Ordinary guy by all accounts. Yeah.
He's not even American.
No.
That's the thing.
That's sweet. I mean, a lot of people, even Americans, confused by that because his accent's so good.
He's from Sligo originally, up in Northwest Ireland.
Yeah, because when you hear him in his normal voice, it's actually quite hard to understand. He's got such a thick Sligo accent. Can't always tell what he's saying, but yeah.
Yeah, that's where
it turns on that beautiful transatlantic accent.
Well, it's very easy for Irish people to do the American accent because it's heavily influenced by it, isn't it?
It's true. Yeah.
Like, I was watching a thing last night with Brendan Gleeson, and his American accent was faultless.
Yeah,
absolutely. I also I had another from that. I got another job Because you know how these things work.
Yeah,
if you do a good
word
job,
of mouth and all the rest of
it's
it.
word of mouth, isn't it?
Discreet can be trusted,
Discreet. And I was I repotted Rick Moranis's houseplants.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because he was busy with the kids.
Yes. He's shrinking them.
That's simply a character, Neil. Oh, you wag.
No, did he grow one of them in another movie?
Yeah, he blew up one. Blew up a kid,
a toddler or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So, honey,
I'll be honest with you, I'd stop fucking around.
Yeah, honey, I should stop experimenting on my own kids.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Does he?
Not only is it dangerous, but it's incredibly unethical.
So I
mean, fair enough. It was your own kids to an
he's
extent.
Working in North Korea now, of course.
Yeah, yeah, he'd be doing some hard time if that was a true movie. Quite rightly so.
Did he do it on purpose, or did the kids just get in the way? I mean, either way,
you've got research grants. That's what I want to know.
I mean, either way, there's a breakdown. There's a breakdown.
We'll follow the money trail because something's gone badly wrong here with the peer review process and the funding.
Oh, that's funny, isn't it? Like, I don't like those in Britain will know, but those who aren't, like a load of our schools in Britain, it's just about to start the new year. And then
it's gonna fall to pieces.
Yeah, someone's gone. Oh yeah, the concrete they use is basically like aero, like bubbly chocolate, and they only had a 30-year lifespan, so it's going to collapse any minute. So you can't put the kids back in schools. And it's, do you know what? Like, it's a little bit for me.
I really don't go back because the hospitals have got a lot of the same problems. So if they get injured, you might end up in a worse place, frying pan into the fire.
The thing is, it is a little bit chickens coming home to roost because this is like the building regulations, which were massively slashed under the previous Conservative government.
So I was reading this today in 2010 when our old friend Michael Gove was Education Secretary.
Sexy guy.
He was yes. Oh, he's single now, isn't he? He's out.
He's always single and ready to mingle.
We saw him something ago. He was out dancing in something.
Was he?
At some club. So yeah. There you go, Chris.
But
he had a green ring on.
Oh, next couple of exactly where you put it. Next couple of blue pills.
Yeah, but So they
shirt off, standing to attention with a green cop ring.
Yeah, nice. He basically got a report into that and just like, just fuck it off for a bit. I just spent some time banging on about how we should be teaching the 3 R's and all this nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Religious education, robotics.
Well, the thing is as well,
and
reading, writing, and arithmetic. No, arithmetic isn't an R.
Yeah, it's arithmetic.
With that whole thing. Yeah, arithmetic, isn't it? That's how you pronounce that.
Yeah, it didn't say now. None of them are spelling, Neil. Yeah, but the thing is, like, this was all under their previous government. This was like that these buildings were knocked up cheaply with no regulation, and now they're having to deal with it. They'll somehow blame someone else, but
just wait until Labour get in.
How are you going to build buildings that have only got a lifespan of 30 years? Do you know?
I think when they originally approved it, because I think it comes from the 60s and they stopped doing it back in the 90s. But I think when they originally started building using that, it wasn't realised how it wasn't really particularly structurally sound.
I don't
know. I don't know, but it is kind of like, I mean, the thing is, you read about sort of, in towns with mafia-built buildings with bridges collapsing and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, and it's like, God, we don't even have the decency to have a decently corrupt criminal organisation behind all of this stuff. Our politicians literally couldn't care less.
Yeah. I mean, everything's falling apart in this country at the moment.
But the good news is, Chris,
not unfixable.
Whoever signed off on that is now in the House of Lords. So that's good. That's good.
and lives in a mansion and claims expenses for their duck lake.
Pond. Yeah.
And so
the price of filigrees of duck pond these days. I think I'm paying for it.
Look, the ducks won't lay my breakfast eggs unless they have Roman statues. So anyway, I reported Rick Moranis' pot plants. He cares about them a lot. He sings to them.
Oh, nice.
He sings to them and stuff, but he didn't have time to do it, so I did it. That was fine. The last bit of cash in hands work I did was I exhumed Richard Pryor's body for an Argentinian man.
Okay.
Didn't ask any questions, but because the pay was good.
Just as well, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. So, Neil, this week...
No notes.
So this week got one which I'd not heard of, but there's quite a lot about it, and there's several reports and that kind of stuff.
Well, these never go wrong, so this should be good.
They never ever go wrong, and it's called the Enfield Monster. This is Enfield in Illinois.
I was going to say it's not Enfield in London, where we did an episode before with our friends the Warrens.
Nothing to do with
David Soul.
The Enfield poltergeist.
Yeah.
But I might suggest that Enfield might be some kind of black magic summoning word.
It could well be.
Because if all these Enfields are getting all these supernatural things going,
there's 2 of them now, so that that's practically a trend. So
I know, but 2 out of how many Enfields?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's a pretty big sample. And whereabouts in America is this Enfield?
It's in Illinois.
Oh, okay. So
Midwest.
Illinois, yeah.
Chicago, Chi-Town. Yeah. The Breezy Peach. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by giving the intro on Wikipedia, which is dry, and then I'm going to move on to giving the intro, which is better, on Cryptid Wiki.
Oh, be a bit moister, presumably.
It's a little moister.
Nice.
A little moister around the edges. So, Enfield Monster refers to a report of an unidentified creature around Enfield, Illinois, United States in April 1973. The reports were covered at the time by the news media, with some suggesting they may have been caused by a wild ape or escaped kangaroo.
I mean, there's a bit of a spectrum there.
Yeah, very dissimilar. Used as a case study for a paper on social contagion in 1978, so sociologists cite the episode as an example of collective behaviour where a group or crowd can be affected by the spread of group emotions.
It's a bit like the Matingata, isn't it?
Yep.
We got a load of stuff out of that where they thought that was a lot of similar thing. Some emotional sorts, these Americans, by the sound of it.
Oh, tell me about it. Such as panics, hysteria, collective visions, and extreme instances of suggestibility.
Ooh.
Sounds like Darren Brown to clear up round there.
Oh, we'd have a lovely time.
So, this is the moister version.
Okay, right. It's gone in dry. Now let's see.
Yeah, it's got done the wrong way around, really.
Yeah.
So, during the early 70s, something horrible stalked the small town of Enfield, Illinois.
So, put a bit more flavour on that.
Although Illinois is already home to phenomenon such as strange lights,
although Illinois is already horrible. I don't know. I only really know of Chicago, and I've never been there. So.
I think it's all right.
Yeah, I'm sure it's lovely.
Home to phenomenon such as strange lights, phantom Black Panthers, and the Thunderbirds, which we need to look at some point.
Do you think that's Black Panthers as in the animals or the radical group?
The radical group.
Yeah, okay.
Who Tupac's mum was a big member of.
Oh.
Yeah, she was Shani Shakur.
Okay.
She was sorry, I know I'm off topic. But like how the FBI used to plant
watch lists and stuff. Oh,
okay, no, they used to plant people in organisations.
Yeah.
And then the FBI person would then make suggestions about bombing somewhere and then get them TNT and stuff.
To
try and entrap people. So they did that with the Black Panthers, and basically Ashani Shakur stood up and then went through how this person had entrapped them, how this is unconstitutional. Mm-hmm. The guy who'd entrapped them and stuff kind of admitted to all of it, and they got off from it. And it was the first time that had been done. Like, she was an incredible speaker, incredible.
Good.
So, on the 25th of April, 1973, Henry MacDonald was among the first to encounter this terrible apparition, the Enfield Horror.
Ooh.
So I'm going to go through its little cards, its little top cards. So, Enfield Horror, a.k.a.
If it's got the scores for spookiness and stuff on there, we can just read those out.
It'd be easy, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
A.k.a. A.k.a. N.A. That's all it's known as. Although it's also, I mean, I've already found it's called the Enfield Monster as well. But whatever.
I'm a bit worried about that level of research if you've managed to out-research them. But there we go.
Fuck me, yeah, exactly. Year first seen, 1973. Biological class, possible mammal. Authenticity status, Neil. Authentic.
That's a strong statement.
Location, Enfield, Illinois. So I'm going to go through the first report here, and I'm going from thelineup.com, and this was written by Kelsey Christine McConnell.
You're going to say Kelsey Grammer for a second.
Kelsey Grammer. Well, they've rebooted Fraser, haven't they?
Fraser with Nicholas Lyndhurst of all people.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know. Is he in it a lot, or is he just in that one scene?
No idea. He plays. I think he's in it.
He's a professor or something.
Because I think they did a play together in London or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's like Niles level cameo, but I imagine he's one of the.
Why, I have to say, you're an absolute plonker. So this is from the lineup, published June 20th, 2022. The Enfield Monster, alien, cryptid, or incident of mass hysteria. You never know what's lurking just beyond your door.
Ooh.
On April 25th, 1973, Henry McDaniel was inside his home in Enfield, Illinois, when he heard a strange scratching at the door. It was late at night, around 10 o'clock. Wouldn't call that late. But from farming people, innit?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Got to get up early and milk the cow.
Yep, that's it. Punch chickens.
Yeah.
And when Daniel looked out, he saw what he thought was a bear. Arming himself with a flashlight and a gun, he stepped outside into the wild winds.
Doesn't want for bravery, then. Going to go out and do some bear hunting.
Well,
just got shot. He's tooled up.
Made of strong stuff, aren't they?
Yeah.
That
got to be.
Bear could be after your chickens.
Bear gets in the hen coop.
Whoa.
And give me no eggs for breakfast.
Oh, the bear's up in the hen coop. There'll be no eggs for us tomorrow. That's how that song went.
That's why I am a man of sorrow.
There, he saw a creature standing between two rose bushes, but it was no bear.
Apparently not.
McDaniel described the creature as having 3 legs, 2 short arms. Its body was also short, but near human. It was around 4.5.
Was it Rolf Harris doing his Ralph the Peg character?
Jake the Peg.
Oh, Jake the Peg. Rolf the Peg, yeah.
Rolf the Incarcerated.
Yeah, Rolf Owl ended poorly, didn't it? Yeah. Anyway.
It was around 4.5 feet tall with a greyish colour and sported 2 big pink eyes the size of flashlights.
Blimey.
It's been on the spliffs.
Yeah.
It's been on the spliffs, bruv. It's been on THCs.
I ain't slept 3 days. You got anything to eat? You got any rockets?
Mate, I'm starving. There's not even a Mickey D open around here. Oh, mate. Have you got pot noodle or something in there? Upon seeing this uncanny creature, McDaniel fired off 4 shots. One of the rounds allegedly hit it, drawing a hiss he compared to that of a wildcat. The creature is said to have then made a run for it towards a railway embankment, spanning 50 feet with 3 jumps. That's probably where the kangaroo thing's coming.
Yeah. Kangaroos particularly fast? I've got no idea.
They're very fast, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Don't want to get in the way of one of those bad boys.
No, I'm sure you don't.
Bang! That's you over now.
Yeah.
That's it.
You gone.
You gone. You go up and see the big trumpet player in the sky. So when McDaniel called the local authorities to investigate the incident, they found footprints near his home.
Ooh.
McDaniel described
mysterious of 3 pattern.
Yep, exactly. McDaniel described these prints as dog-like, having 6 toe pads. At the time of his report, the police found McDaniel to be fully rational and, most importantly, I'd say, Neil, sober.
Well, it was by that point.
Sobered up. Yep. Done a couple of bumps.
Yeah. steady himself out.
As the investigators branched out to the questioning neighbours, 10-year-old Greg Garrett seemed to corroborate McDaniel's story.
Ooh.
Garrett said he saw the beast just 30 minutes before McDaniels did, and that it shredded his sneaker as it stepped on his foot. That sounds
some claws
bullshit.
or something.
Sounds bullshit. However, Garrett later came out saying his report was phony, meant only to tease McDaniels and the newsmen.
Oh, okay.
10-year-old prick, yeah.
Wasting police time. Should be locked up for that.
Yeah, he banged up. Do you know what? Bit of military service would do him some good now.
Yeah, quite right.
Yeah, sort the wheat from the chaff, wouldn't it? Just going to have a little sip of my drink.
Fair enough.
As the story picked up attention, news outlets speculated that perhaps the creature was just a wild ape or an escaped kangaroo. McDaniels dismissed these explanations. He asserted that if the creature was ever again seen, it would be with a group of similar creatures he believed were not of this planet.
I mean, so it's not really sounding like a escaped monkey or a kangaroo, is it, Franklin?
What, with 3 legs
Kangaroos
and 2
are
arms?
bipedal. Yeah, exactly.
And big pink eyes.
Yeah, mind you, with that double vision he was suffering.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
On the 6th of May, just 2 weeks after the initial incident, McDaniels reported to the WWKI radio station that he saw the creature yet again at 3 a.m. in the morning. He spotted it carefully padding its way across the railroad tracks by his house. I'd double sight him.
Yeah.
He didn't shoot at it, and it didn't seem in a hurry. A search party, including...
Stop for a chat.
Yeah, stop for a little chit-chat.
Yeah. I mean, if you got Samuel Beckett, yeah, I am actually. Yeah,
yeah, I don't mind it.
I don't know. I find him a bit tedious, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm more of a pincer man myself.
Yeah, excels more at characterisation. I feel like Beckett's nihilism gets in the way of the story sometimes, whilst undoubtedly really innovative. That's what I imagine this creature would be saying.
Really?
Yeah, he'd have a lot to say about 60s theatre.
Are you now picturing yourself as the creature, Neil?
A little bit.
Has the creature started inhabiting?
I often felt like I'm about 3 legs. Yeah, a bit pretentious. Trying to sound cleverer than you really are. Yeah.
Regurgitating points other people have made that you read in the Guardian.
Intelligent fashion. Yeah.
He didn't shoot at it this time, Neil. That's good. And it didn't seem to be in a hurry. A search party, including WWKI news director Rick Rainbow.
Hey.
Hey, I'm Rick Rainbow.
You certainly are.
Went out later that day to see if they could catch sight of it and returned with reports of an ape-like creature lingering by an abandoned building close to McDaniel's house. They claimed to catch a recording of its cries before they shot it and scared it away. They're all bit trigger happy, aren't they?
They do. Well, this is the whole thing. It's like when people go out for UFO sightings with guns as well,
Yeah.
And maybe let's try the peaceful option first.
Nah, shoot it down.
Well, the thing is as well, I mean, I admire your moxie, but I wouldn't fancy my chances if they've got interstellar travel.
Yeah, then obviously
probably don't come tooled up with a fucking
shotgun.
They've probably got something a bit tastier, take you apart, but there you go. Who knows what kind of shields and things.
Well, but they're thinking they might be so advanced that they stop using
like Demolition Man, where they've all just gone a bit soft.
Yeah, just soft.
They've to take you back to their home planet to clean up the problem areas. That'd be the ultimate right-wing fantasy, wouldn't it?
We could write that.
Yeah.
There we go. You want to do a scripted podcast,
stuff, and it's like you end up becoming a hero of some intergalactic civilization.
He is a hero.
Tough guy left.
He's a cult hero.
Some, I suppose. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's a terrible world we live in. There you
go. Well,
it's look, at the end of the day.
I know it's really easy to
do. Rewarded pricks for being pricks.
But I know it's terrible to do. But I do kind of blame the parents of these kids who are really into Andrew Tate. It's like, well, what are you teaching them? And why do they have money to be able to sign up to whatever he's changed Hustlers University to this time?
Yeah.
Dickheads, give me your money. So they claim to capture a recording of its cries before they shoot it and scared it away. While cryptozoologist Lauren Coleman investigated the recording and the case, nothing solid has seemed to come of it.
Shame. Tantalisingly close, though. Well, they had footprints. This is where I'm a bit confused with sort of like saying, it could be a kangaroo or an ape. Well, I mean, get a plaster of Paris and then that print, and let's give it to a zoologist or someone. Tell you what it is. Or say, this is of nothing we know. It's a new species or it's an intergalactic one.
So, amateur hunting party set out to take the beast down. Take it down. It's done nothing. Take it down. A group of gentlemen reported seeing the ghastly creature, but added on to the eerie description, calling the beast hairy.
I just love this idea. There's just a gang of fops have suddenly turned up.
Hello.
We're just in the area.
We're just a group of gentlemen.
We like to dress nicely and indulge in a little bit of witty repartee. Maybe the odd cosmopolitan.
We thought it'd be an awful wheeze to come over to Illinois. They fired upon the creature.
Little did we know there'd be all this shenanigans.
There'd be a ghastly, hairy creature here.
Well, Nathaniel, I'll game if you are. Don't know where that accent went. Anyway.
So they fired upon the creature but failed to hit it. The men who the sheriff described...
They're pretty good shots, are they? People are just...
this might be why, Neil.
Oh, okay.
The local sheriff described as out drinking and raising hell rather than truly monster hunting.
So basically it's just a bunch of pissheads with shotguns.
The men were then charged with hunting violations.
Well, hang on a minute. I mean, we didn't know there was a license for an intergalactic Sasquatch thing.
Yeah,
is that like it would always be illegal, or because
what, to just go around
pissed off shooting? The reason why you need like hunting licenses is because like you don't want to.
We have seasons and stuff.
You'd have seasons so that the stocks are kept plentiful and what have you.
Yeah, but they were charged with hunting violations, and the violations could be having a loaded weapon while
just being pissed off, firing off all over the shows. People walking here and such. Yeah, it's literally down the high street. Yeah,
that could be the violation.
I mean, it would have been manslaughter if you'd been a bit less lucky, but yeah.
So, I'm going to go on to the Rick Rainbow encounter now.
Yeah, I want to see what he's up to.
Rick Rainbow!
It'd be a good name for like a wrestler or something. It's going to always a radio broadcast to be
Weatherman.
It alliterates, and it's obviously it's a colourful name as well, so that's good.
So, on Sunday, May the 6th, Rick Rainbow, the then director of radio station WWKI in Kokomo, Indiana, was searching the area with 3 friends when they saw something that was around 5.5 feet in height, grey, and stooped over, running through the woods near an abandoned house, which it was reported was nearby McDaniel's home. The entity moved with an unnatural speed and quickly vanished from the 4 men's sight. However, Rick Rainbow claimed to have recorded the creature's eerie shriek as it ran through them on a tape recorder. Despite investigation by world-renowned cryptozoologist Laura Coleman, the attention that the sighting received eventually died down, and the creature hasn't been seen since. Lauren told the press, "I travelled to Enfield, interviewed the witnesses, and looked at the siding of the house that the Enfield Monster had damaged, heard some strange screeching, banshee-like sounds, and walked away bewildered." So I'm not quite sure how she's getting that world-renowned tag. I had a look, and I walked away, I didn't know what had happened. I mean, that's...
Well, there's no further evidence to be collected, perhaps, Chris. Some mysteries have to go left unsolved. That's the cryptozoology game for you, mate.
That's the heartbreaking thing about the detective game, isn't it?
Yeah. Went and had a look. It was a dead body, but couldn't find any clues.
No one came forwards. Yeah. Just
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I'm not Sherlock Holmes, and I'm not the amount they're paying me. I'm not going to be. So
chalk out to experience.
Yeah. I've got good for you if you could be a gentleman thief. I've got Uber deliveries to be doing and all. You've seen how much they pay around here, please.
I'll be honest with you. I sort of see the police work as my downtime. I've got 3 jobs.
Yeah.
After this, like the hard work, I'm stacking shelves, and from 3 till 6 in the morning, I work up the local abattoir.
I mean, if I literally see somebody standing over the body, I'll probably shoot at them. If I have to chase them or something, I ain't doing that for. Not doing that.
I'm not doing that. I'm only here for the pension, really.
Yeah.
The pension and
the pension and you get lazy, uninspired staff.
So, this is linked, Neil, to the Mount Vernon creature.
Oh, okay. Never heard of that one.
Between the years of 1941 and 1942, between those years, rather than just in the years, there was a string of similar sightings in the small village of Mount Vernon, which is, ironically, less than 14 miles away from Enfield. Doesn't understand the use of the word ironic. It's not ironic at all.
No, I mean, if anything, you would assume it would be fairly close because...
Yeah, coincidentally would be, no, as far as I'd push it. These encounters involved a mysterious... Sorry, I'm not here to critique this person's writing. I don't know why I'm doing that.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, we've given them enough ammunition over the years. I don't think we want
to... Exactly. If you want to come back...
We've put it that many times, Please do,
Yeah, it'd be good.
We're lonely, we'd like the intervention. This is all just a massive cry for helplessness.
Well, we've said that.
That hasn't become painfully apparent already.
That's what we said on the first episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, we weren't lying. Well, you thought we were going to blink first? You think we were going to call our bluff? No.
No.
They're committed to the bit now.
Yep. 2 years and counting. 2 years plus.
As long as it fucking takes.
These encounters involved a mysterious leaping beast that terrorized the local people and is supposedly responsible for numerous animal deaths and mutilations in the region.
Okay.
The locals called the creature the Mount Vernon Monster and described it as being vaguely baboon-like in appearance and able to leap anywhere from 20 to 40 feet in a single bound.
I think this is all just drunk hicks. Who's gone out your shotgun and just shot up half your cattle.
Yep, mutilated them.
Sober up and go, oh, there's been a beast that's been...
Yeah, listen to Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Carved up your cows. However, this creature...
More like Max Miller in 41, wouldn't it?
Max Miller, yeah, that's true, 41. Yeah.
Maybe the 70s ones could
listen to a bit of Led Creepers, where'd you get those peepers? It's in my head, man.
Oh, yeah.
However, this creature is likened more to the devil monkey than the Enfield Monster. So these are all things we're going to have to look at.
Have to.
we'll eventually.
Take a mulligan on that, yeah. We can get to the point where we run out of things to say, yeah.
But... it is a possibility that it was in fact the same creature.
I mean, yeah. Possibility's doing a fair bit of heavy lifting there, but yes.
Well, it jumps.
I accede to that statement.
It's close, but it's a jumping creature. It's close by. Although this one apparently is more baboon-like. But, what is a baboon, Neil? If not a kangaroo.
If not a kangaroo. Yeah. I'm wondering where the kangaroo comes from anyway.
Well, I think it's just the jumping,
isn't it? Yeah, they don't jump like massive bounds, do they?
I mean, when they're going fast.
Yeah,
that's where triple jump comes from, isn't it?
From kangaroos.
Yeah, we learnt off them. So, reactions, Neil. Back to Wiki. The incidents were reported widely in the press at the time. It appeared in newspapers throughout the state on 27th of April 73, and on the 7th of May there was an interview on a radio station, WGN, Chicago, and articles in the Chicago Daily News, the Moline Dispatch, the Champaign-Urbana Courier, and the Alton Telegraph. And there were early articles in the Carmi Times, and an updated summary of the event appeared in Pennsylvania's Reading Eagle in August 1973. So after the arrest of the 5 men who had arrived to hunt the creature, woo!
And this doesn't, makes me very
give
much
me
think
some
this is
more of that redder.
drunken hicks causing the chaos. But there you go.
Residents of Enfield expressed fears that the press coverage would lead to further monster hunters who might inadvertently shoot civilians or livestock.
Yeah, I think that's very much what's happening here, in my opinion.
What?
It's just drunken, monster
no, but that doesn't
hunters,
explain that doesn't explain the. Do you mean that explains why they were arrested? So it doesn't explain the stuff at the start.
They could be jumping about.
You reckon it's the hunters?
Dressed up as kangaroos? Yeah.
Even though, right? So, but that doesn't match up with the initial report, does it? Of
No, McDaniel's.
So it was suggested that the creature may have been a kangaroo escaped from a nearby zoo, which would explain the 3 legs, because the tails of kangaroos look like a 3rd leg.
Oh, okay, that's where they're getting that from. Fair enough.
McDaniel was adamant that the creature wasn't no kangaroo.
I know from kangaroos.
Having owned such a creature as a pet on military service in Australia.
Word.
One thing I know, it's kangaroos.
I can't imagine a kangaroo would make a good pet. They're not really housebroken, are they?
They're very friendly.
Are they?
Yeah, I've stroked a kangaroo. It was nice.
I suppose if they've been brought up around humans or something.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a wild kangaroo is terribly tameable, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe the thing is, they don't captivity. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't have the fear because sort of mass killing white men have only been in Australia for a couple 100 years, so they don't have the same fear that creatures who have had to deal with us for longer periods of time.
Yeah.
And noted that kangaroos have a narrower face and their tracks that leave claw marks.
And don't have huge pink eyes.
Don't have huge pink eyes.
Bang 30 foot in a stride. Yeah.
Ask for pot noodles. So following media coverage of the creature, an Ohio man contacted a local newspaper stating that the creature may have been his pet kangaroo, Macy, who had been lost or stolen a year previously. A few days after the event, United Press International quoted an anthropology student who unnamed, who suggested that the creature may have been a wild ape, noting that such animals have been reported throughout the Mississippi area since 1941. So there could be apes a go-go around the Mississippi.
Hey, why not apes and kangaroos?
They might have kind of like, as kind of circuses became less popular because of television.
You can't afford to feed the ape anymore. Just let it go.
Mr.
You have to fend for yourself, Bobo. Sorry,
Mr. Bobo.
Life of hard knocks.
This is the most heartbreaking thing I've ever had to do. But you're gonna have to go on your own keep now, boy. You're gonna have to go. No, don't look at me that way, Mr. Bobo. You gotta go, boy. Oh my God, it's breaking my heart. It'd be something like that, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he's driving away in his RV.
So, university study. In 1978, researchers from Western Illinois University, headed by David L. Miller, investigated and analysed the incident, publishing it as a case study in Social Contagion. The researchers found that there were no more than 3 first-hand reports that had subsequently been exaggerated by news stories and local gossip into an epidemic. But I think that 3 first-hand reports is quite good for one of these.
Something like this, yeah, frankly. You got more in the tin gas up. But yeah, I think it's more, Social Contagion might find fair enough. I think more sort of just the press running with a load of bullshit is more...
So, according to the study, this area of southern Illinois is not unreasonable to assume that Mr. M or the radio news team had actually seen an animal. People were interviewed, framed the recent events in these terms. Their accounts admitted the possibility that a large dog, calves, bears, deer, and wildcats had been sighted. Some frames suggested that an exotic pet, such as an ape or a kangaroo, was the catalyst to the monster reports. Finally, some people tactfully suggested that Mr. M had a notoriously overactive imagination and had probably been shooting at shadows. In any event, we interviewed one person who agreed with Mr. M's claim that he had indeed seen a monster from outer space.
That was my point about the drunken sort of hunter thing. It's not drunken monster hunters, but just, you know, somebody who's out on the source and just mistaking the shadows for, you know.
But he was sober when the police got there, Neil.
When they got there.
Yeah, but I mean, how quickly?
I'll be honest with you, they were lit up like fucking Christmas trees as well. So.
More than there was. He was.
There's not a lot
proportionately sober.
Yeah, Enfield, permanently drunk. That's the old town town motto.
So, Neil, what do you believe? Was this little town too ready for a bit of excitement that the creature, that they created a horror out of common wildlife? Or were the sociologists too keen to find a reason to the unnatural thing that they brushed aside evidence of life beyond our understanding?
Well, it's just a wealth of evidence, isn't there? And those pencil necks have just brushed
covering
it aside,
aren't they?
Covering it up as quick as they can.
So that's your monster, Neil.
Wow.
Well,
it stood in a rose bush
betwixt two rose bushes.
Might have been around somewhere in the 40s. And he was just trying to seduce the farmer, wasn't
he? Yeah, that's what I'm picking up.
Right.
You've been quite sexy today, Neil. What's that about? Is it?
I think it's just the heat. It's just driving.
The night's closing in.
Out. I'm getting a bit frisky.
All the pollen. So, Neil, let's go through our scoring system.
Hey, why not?
So, spookiness.
Not a big one here for me, to be honest with you. Three-legged, yeah, that's uncanny, I guess. Not terribly spooky. It doesn't seem to deem it. I mean, the one in the 40s seems to have attacked animals and stuff, but this one just seems to sort of like be wandering around
railway tracks. I wonder if it's something to do. I mean, what's the railway got to do with it?
Well, the goat lick monster.
No, that's too far away.
Yeah, too far away.
Just wondering what.
A lot of them seem to be drawn to railways.
I mean, could it be the welcome to history too? Could it be that the Enfield Monster was in fact a genetically engineered creature made by the railway companies to repair the tracks at night?
Yeah, it's a steampunk cryptid.
Some people have suggested this could be the case.
It's cheap workers. Born before AO was a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't really scare me an awful lot. I mean, even the farmers don't seem to have been that.
You'd have let it hit a pot noodle and asked if it had any more spliff, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Would have gotten just fine.
Fine. 2 peas in a motherfucking pot.
Right, you're going to get tea for me. I hang out with my bro instead. My three-legged bro. Yeah.
Okay, so I was probably going to be a little higher for me because it sounds like it's fairly rural. And if you're hearing this noise and you go outside and this thing serenading you or whatever between 2 rose bushes, I know. Then it would be scary, wouldn't it? It would be spooky, but only because of my own feelings.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe the walls are coming down.
Well, you've got to surrender yourself to love, Chris.
But do you know what? Like opening yourself up again after you've been hurt can be a scary prospect.
Yeah, that's true.
So for that reason,
it's a 10 for you. I'm giving it a 4. Fair enough.
Believability. So I do believe that. These people think they saw something, whether or not it was a space ape. I'm not sure. But I think they believe they saw something. I mean, and it was well enough kind of reported and believed in that they there were lots of newspaper articles. I mean, like, Yellow Press or whatever, but the newspaper articles, and then
very much the equivalent of the Sunday Sport.
Then, like the University of West Illinois or whatever, the bloke couldn't be bothered figuring out what to do this syllabus, so he just saw that in a paper and went, "All right, let's do a paper on that." But yeah, people did believe it. Do I believe? So it's always an interesting one with cryptids because there's always a chance. Do you know what I mean?
Possible.
It's always a chance. So I'm going to give it a 7 now.
Okay, wow, it's probably a bit higher than me. So, like you, yeah, I can accept that people may well believe that they'd seen something or might have seen a wild animal. I don't know. It didn't sound like a kangaroo or an ape, frankly, but who knows? If it's dark and it's, I don't know. You might see skittering past. You might imagine all sorts of things if it's a sort of dark night. So we got sightings. That gives it a bit of authenticity. Again, probably not a space ape, but was something out there probably. So I'll give it. Given that
space chimp.
Yeah, given that there was a level of sightings, I'll give it a 6.
6. Okay. Narrative premise, Neil.
Doesn't do a lot, does he? So you're out in kind of like Illinois. It's all out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's like with a lot of these sightings, something weird happens. They bring their shotguns along and fail to shoot it for some reason.
Why don't these sightings in Times Square?
Well, why not?
Well, because you don't find a lot of deer there either, you prick.
Okay, fair enough.
Not you. I mean, just like people say that.
I don't. There's not a lot. I mean, again, I'm assuming this hasn't been an episode of Supernatural. It's not been, books and films written about it. It's pretty thin gruel, I think. I mean, you could. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 4. I don't want to be too harsh, but I don't think there's a lot to this.
So it's an interesting creature, and the fact that it was spotted a few times is good. I mean, there's obviously something slightly there because there was a lot of reports about it and stuff. But
although the local radio stations probably didn't have an awful lot to report on, so.
No, but I mean, it went like Chicago and stuff, like the papers in Chicago did reports on it and stuff. But again, it's a curio, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'll probably go the same as you, Neil, because it doesn't really do much, and we don't know anything about it really. Its backstory, what its motivation is. Its loves, its lives, its laughs.
Characterization's weak, isn't it?
It is weak. So 4 as well. And reach. So I don't think it's massive. I think it was, I doubt many people know about it even now, really, who aren't digging around for this kind of stuff. It was obviously quite big in Illinois, and it made it to Pennsylvania and Indiana. So it's kind of known in that area for a little bit, but I don't think it's a very big one. So I'm going to give it a 3.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, I don't see this. It's not really an interesting enough one. It's just a classic kind of cryptid sighting, really. There's a little bit of evidence and all the rest of it, but it's not fundamentally interesting enough. It's got 3 legs, supposedly, big pink eyes, but it's not one that would capture the imagination, I don't think. So I think 3 sounds about right for me too.
So that gives us an overall 33. Okay. Fairly low, but hey, that's all right. Doesn't matter, does it?
Check these things out to see what they're all about.
Yeah. And listeners, give us a rating and a comment, you fucks. And also, you can email us at legendspodcast@gmail.com.
There's a Twitter handle as well, Chris.
There is Legends
Urbane these days.
At Legends Urbane.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for this week. We're in the autumn now, as we watch the leaves turn from emerald green to reds and oranges, all that kind of stuff.
That lovely fall stroke autumn stuff.
All that stuff, yeah. Chestnuts. Woo-hoo.
Roast on the open fire. It will be soon.
Will be indeed. Weird bit we've gone into.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we're going to leave it at that. Take care, everyone, and we'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.
Have a good one, everyone. Goodbye.